So we are now recording. Let me just dial Hope real quick. So if you just so happen to be listening to this, you are tuned into KDD Radio. I'm your host, Duane. And I have my special guest, Ajaya Devine, and soon to be Hope S, who will be also on the line. And we're going to be talking about, sex and stuff and the magic of behind sex and how sex can be magical and all the other cute stuff.
The magic of sex.
Yes. So, yeah, that's why I have this very creepy, quiet storm voice thing going on. Oh, here it is.
I was just gonna say your evening radio voice.
Yeah. 1 second. Hello.
Hello.
All right. Can everyone hear each other?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. So, again, this is KDD Radio. The host Duane, and I have two special guests, Ajaya Devine and Hope, aka Mama Trinity. That's the new name on the streets now.
Yes. New name for a new birthday.
So, how y'all feeling tonight?
Good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Nice
It's been a
weather.
good day. Yes. We've been having a lot of rain, so it's nice to have some sunshine.
Yep. The drip is always anyway, so let's just get straight into it. Just talking about sex magic. Now, for someone that, the layman's person that may have never heard that, they may have heard of that Love, Sex and Magic song, which I think was Justin Timberlake and Ciara, some shit. I don't remember. What is sex magic, basically?
I hope you want to start.
Oh, sure. I can start. Well, sex magic has a couple of different layers to it. Like most forces you kind of have where it's used in a positive manner and then where it's used in a negative manner. We can speak on both, but it's like taking two, separate energies, usually a man or a woman, and coming together to create something new. So, magic is just like alchemy, changing something, transforming something, not just how people would say, oh, I'm changing, stuff into gold. It's a transformation process to bring about something new, put it simply.
So basically, it's like procreation metaphorically.
Yes, literally.
And what is more magical than like making a baby and bringing a person into the world? It's like the ultimate magic trick. Right?
Yeah.
So if we take that and apply it to any time we have sex to bring in anything else, magic.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and that's why things come forth when I get it. All right, so I did a little bit of research. I did like the typical know nothing nigga research, a couple of YouTube videos or whatever, and they basically said it's very important who your partner is. You can't just be out here. Even like with regular magic tricks, this is my lovely assistant or my trusted assistant or whatever. You can't just you can't just sew anybody in half. So please stop me. So
that's the first step of it is the more aligned that you are on the same frequency with someone, the more powerful it is, because two things together, going in the same direction are going to go further.
Yes.
So you're like the person you pick. But then if you want to go back into like we're talking about being negative, like the negative connotations of it, people who have this knowledge and use it against unknowing people who are like unknowing participants in sex magic. That can be a bit abusive.
You talk about the soul snatchers out there?
Yeah, So, but definitely if it's an intentional thing where you're trying to manifest together, or they want to help in your manifestations, you know, I mean, they might not even be completely in on what you want to manifest, but they might be willing to help, and they might have something that they want to manifest, and y'all are like, cool, we about to do this magic trick. Like,
yeah. So, you know, I saw this girl, and, you know, we had a connection. I was like, hey, do you want to manifest destiny? But
oh my goodness. Oh.
Yeah. So anyway,
that was hey, the ritual for manifest destiny. That was a hell of a ritual right there.
Man, what?
They took over the whole.
The whole freaking everything.
A lot of people got fucked.
And that's when they talk about the sex cults in Hollywood and all of that stuff. It's true, real. Because it's sex magic. It is magic. Yes. It's a ritual. So of course they're going to have sex cults, because that's the most powerful thing for you to use to manifest and create is sex. Absolutely. So of course they have sex cults. Of course they use sex magic.
Of course, and like the Bible, you know, the Bible hints at a lot, and it even tells you, you know, two or more are gathered in His name. You know, there's the more powerful force. So yeah.
Yeah, and you know this. I think a lot of people don't realize how many times like the Bible says "fucking" without saying "fucking." Like he's saying like, oh, like you know this person. It's like, oh, he knows them not. That means they not fucking. But if you do know that person, that means they fucking. So if you bring it back to, I'm just trying to get to know you, it just really means I'm just trying to get them draws. So Christian folks, that's really what it is.
That is the ultimate get to know you. You know what I mean? Like that's the ultimate get to know you. Like to know someone
inside and out.
Like personally is completely different from knowing them inside. Well, for women, inside out. And is, you know, the most intimate part, at least, you know.
Right. So with this this powerful magic, I'm really thinking about, like, you know, people that are, you know, women that have been quote unquote stigmatized, or, you know, I guess guys get pussy whipped or whatever you want to call it. Where do you think this happens? What do you think causes that?
Well, I think it's different. I think it's different for each case, you know. And I think some of it, one example I could think of off top is when someone taps into a different frequency, a higher frequency when they're being intimate with you, when they're having when you're having sex, they get addicted to that, being able to you helping them tap into another frequency, or, you know, elevate higher. That's how some people get stigmatized or pussy whipped or whatever, like, because they feel themselves tapping into something else, which might not necessarily be a bad thing unless the person is trying to use it to control you, but you know.
Yeah, that's true. And a lot of people,
there's probably other ones.
Yeah, a lot of people get also addicted to, like, you know how people say toxic relationship sex is so good, because they're just addicted to that, you know, intensity or that overstimulation that they're getting when they're with that person. And now that, you know, that's really exactly, because all of that is endorphins, and people have to remember, like, chemicals are being exchanged, and, you know, things are happening when you're engaging in something like that. I'm using energy talking to you right now. Like, everything uses energy. So, you know, all of that stress, all of that, oh my God, I hate you, nigga, and all of that, you know, that adds to that addiction that people get on. You know, like,
and that helps with the high. That brings the low so that the high feels even higher.
Yeah.
You know,
it's like a drug.
Yeah, it is. Like, it's just an addictive behavior. Like, it can be an addiction just like anything else.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm even thinking about, like, I'm glad you brought up the whole drug thing. That's why I was like looking to go. 'Cause, I mean, if you think about, like, the first time somebody got introduced to some hard drug, was through somebody that they knew that was experienced with it already, and then they just opened this new world to them. And you feel, when you have that new experience, it's like in general, not even just like sex or whatever, but like, I mean, if you go on a vacation with your homeboys or something like that, you get closer just from having that shared experience. If you get in an all-out brawl and y'all win, or shit, if y'all lose, you know, like, you still have that connection, you know? So it's just that shared experience of, like, this is my first time I've ever done this with this person, and, now we have a sort of a bond, and this person's kind of guiding me because they're more experienced than I am. And that's pretty much how, people end up getting manipulated or strung out on, whatever, just they release too much serotonin when they was boning Sarah. So, it's just.
And then, and some people are looking for that, that leadership, that, you know what I mean? Like somebody to kind of do that. And then you have people who want to prey on people are looking for people like that. You know what I mean? Normally, like real, like true, just natural lead by example. People are out here looking for people to lead. You know what I mean? Like but for the ones that who are out here like looking to take advantage, they're looking for the people who are searching. So like when you're putting off that energy, you're going to draw the people who are looking. So like you're going to draw that toxic to you, because in a sense that's toxic too, to be looking for something outside of yourself to fulfill yourself. So like you are being toxic, so you're going to draw a toxic person.
And you're going to attract it.
Yeah. And with how fast people have sex when they meet each other these days, you don't even have an opportunity to figure out if the person is toxic or not, who they truly are, what their true energy is before you let them in. Then like y'all make this chemical bond, y'all make this energetic bond, and then you start seeing the real person where you already bonded with them.
Right.
Like whether or not you engage in sex magic doesn't matter. It's magical by itself. So once you have sex, you are energetically connected. Like y'all have bonded. So like you just riding the ups and downs and the wondering why you can't leave, because you literally have a connection. You literally are bonded.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You got to split the atom.
And I like how you yes, for real. And I like how you mentioned people who go looking for it, because I feel like it's very important to know yourself. I mean, not perfectly, but if you're gonna start coming out here and making connections with people and engaging in sex, you really have to have some sense of self, because if you don't, like you said, people are looking for those insecure souls to come and attack, and they're going to take advantage. You're gonna unfortunately find what you're looking for, and you end up in this, like you said, a bond with someone who you have no business being with, or you should have left a long time ago, or so you never should have engaged with to begin with, and you can't get away that easy.
Yep, that's why discernment is so important. I remember I'm a frequent open mic attender, different things like that. And I remember there was this chick, one of those waist bead having, septum piercing, whatever, those types or whatever.
Hair wrap.
Yeah, and I remember her looking at me on the line, and like she just looked at me like, and I'm pretty perceptive, I will say that. And she looked at me like, I will ruin your life.
Oh, goodness.
And I'm just sitting there like, I'm like, is this what like women feel when like they see a nigga being creepy? Like, I just feel like, because like I kind of wanted to get my life ruined, but I kind of was like, I don't know, like. And there's few times like I find women that have that, what I like to call soul snatching energy, and yeah, I'm be like, yo, I'm not sure if I want to, do this right now.
Listen, I give a disclaimer when any man approaches. If he feels like he's trying to push in that direction, I give a full disclaimer. I'm just like, are you sure you want to ride this ride? I don't think you might not truly understand what you're getting into.
Yeah.
I had one guy was like, "You gonna Badu me?" I was like, "I don't even know what that means, but probably."
Shit, I know exactly what that means.
Whatever you think that means, yes.
I start wearing colorful sweaters and shit.
But it is also one of those things that like when like it is hard to like come back from that level too. To just being as if that never happened.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So again, because that deeper bond has already been made, and there's probably if it's happening quickly, there's some chemistry there too. You know what I mean? Like there's some natural There's some natural chemistry, which that's important when you're picking a mate. I mean, when you're attempting to manifest, or if you want to get into some sex magic, some natural chemistry is one of the basic things that it can be cultivated too. Don't get, it doesn't like you have to be like, oh my God, I want to. But there should be some kind of something that draws them to you. It doesn't even have to be physical. It just needs to be something that draws them to you. Like when you have that natural chemistry, it's a good sign of some, if you're getting into this. Because a lot of people mate in general, but
Yes. A lot of people will admit that they have sex with people that they don't even like, and I'm just like, all right, well, that's cool. I feel like I couldn't get anything out of that on my.
How do you get up to do that? Like,
that's what I'm saying.
An orgasm, is not that deep for me to trick myself into having something I don't like.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know women.
It's not worth my time.
That's when it crosses the line into addiction, because that's craziness.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's one sign that you have crossed the line into some addictive behavior when you're having sex with people you don't want to kiss, people you don't even like, people what? That doesn't even make that doesn't even make sense. You're crossing the line over into some addictive behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now that I come to think about it, because again, I know with women, connection is very, very important, and I'm just thinking about me and my trials of yesteryear. I guess with guys, especially being young, late teens or whatever, early 20s, is just my dick is ready for work, at all times. It's just, it's always just ready to work. So it didn't necessarily have to be we connected on this level, whatever. It's just oh, you're kind of cute, you laughed at my jokes.
And you try to make it work.
Yeah, you just try to figure it out, because I guess that's what guys do. They're problem solvers, I guess you want to say. But with women though, I think it's more of a connection. I think they cherish the connection. It's connections with both, but I think that women have more value on the connection. At least they.
Yeah.
Sure.
And your women's parts of women's sex organs are in their, what is it, the sacral chakra?
Yeah, I was just about to say
that's the emotional. That's a more emotional area. You know what I mean? That's so naturally there's going to be more emotion connected to it for women, just because part of their reproductive sexual organs are in the sacral area.
That makes sense.
Yeah, even though you have a lot of women nowadays, especially because of porn or whatever, acting like they don't want a connection. They do. That's like she said, that's exactly how we're designed. And even with men, the whole, how you were talking about the young teens or early 20s and everything, how they're just ready to be on go. Guys need to find and women too, need to find something to do with that horniness emotion, because horniness doesn't mean I gotta go and stick my dick in something, or I need to go, fuck something or whatever. You can honestly go do something, and people say, oh, sex is creative energy. It can be a creative energy without somebody.
Exactly.
You can go do something.
You can get horny and paint and come up with the most beautiful paintings ever. You could get, you know what I mean? You could be, I'm not even gonna say that.
So basically, when someone says go fuck yourself, it's really not that an insult if you use it the right way.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, and yes, you can do sex magic by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You can. It's not as strong, of course, but even, yes, that's possible also.
Yeah, it's something you can do.
But even just transmuting that energy into something creative, you would probably be amazed at what you could create if you channel that into a skill or something that you like to do or whatever. Just like anger, or just you know what I mean? Anything, just like anger, whatever. But remember that sex and sexual energy is the strongest, because it literally creates life. Then you can do so much with that energy.
True. So, now that we kind of basically covered what it is, like, how does one engage in, you know, the magicalness of sex magic?
I mean, there's different, you know, everybody kind of, I'm not a cookie cutter type of person. So
yeah, I would say
like a recipe that you like, you do this, and then you do this, and then you put this leg over here, then you tie this one behind. Like, it's not, it's like, but if you wanted to, you know, you could write down what it is that you want to manifest, or if it's one thing, if you both write separately, if you're in a couple or a union and y'all are trying to do something actually together, then y'all have like, we want to start a business, or we want to do this, or we want to do that. You could write that out. Both of y'all can read it to each other. You can start off with like massage, like you're trying to, like, anything that helps you get on the same frequency before you actually have intercourse. So whether that's massage, whether that's dancing, whatever kind of works for you. The like tantric thing that they'll say is kind of sitting face to face and looking in each other's eyes and breathing together. But that's kind of, I mean, it's cool, it's intense, like, it's cool, it does work. But like, if you want something a little more free and a little more fun, like dancing is you know what I mean? Like, dancing is really good. Yeah. And then you're just focusing on that. Yeah, you're focusing on what you are intending or what you're manifesting. There's some deeper stuff that you can go into, but I think that's a good start.
Yeah. And I'm glad you brought up Tantra, because, you know, I've read it. I'm sure we all have looked into it to some extent, but I don't like how one step only it kind of is. Like, it just gives you kind of this one way to do it. And there are so many different ways, because if you're not comfortable, you know, just sitting and staring, that's okay. You don't have to be. Maybe y'all go on a date party. It can be as big of a, you know, ritual, whatever you want it to be. There's not one way. And
exactly, you're creating your ritual. Like, y'all are creating your ritual that's going to help you. So it's like it's really about what makes y'all feel good and what makes y'all feel close leading up into the moment. And then when you're actually having sex, you can't focus on the end or the orgasm or the ejaculation. Like, that is not the goal here.
It's being present.
It's about connecting. It's about connecting and being present with each other and sharing that energy. So, like, literally, the man is putting energy in, and it should be coming out of the woman and circling back in through the man. Like, y'all should be recycling energy in the present, in the moment.
And if it's uncomfortable, you should not engage. I say, if any of that is uncomfortable, you probably shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah, because, I mean, I looked up the Tantra when I was in a relationship or whatever, and, you know, I don't play in the snow and I don't play in the sand, so, you know, I'm strictly with, you know, my Nubians and all that, and I'm just sitting here reading this stuff. I was like, there's no way in hell I'm gonna be like, yeah, so this is sitting here and stare at each other. She'd be like, nigga, are you a serial killer? Like, so I'm glad that you brought up that, you know, it's not a one way to do it, you know. So that's definitely refreshing, because shit, I don't know, I can't see anybody that's just gonna just sit there, at least in the way that this culture's set up, is just gonna sit there and stare at a nigga.
And that's if you're not, like, probably people who have a regular meditation practice would be comfortable with just sitting there and you know what I mean? Like, people like, most people don't just want to sit there and do anything for, you know what I mean? Besides, like, watching TV, like, to focus on anything for any amount of time, but you put another person and you put another person in front of them, because we're just reflections of each other. So if you put another person in front of me, I have to face my insecurities. And I might not be ready to do that yet. But if I can do, you know what I mean? Like, if I can move and be free, you know what I mean? Like, something that's a little more comfortable for me. Because it does take a lot to sit and stare someone straight.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, and it has more to do with it has more to do with you than it does the other person.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, it doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to do with the other person unless you don't like them, or, you know what I mean? Like, you don't feel their energy, like, but if we can't, like, never make eye contact and, like, have it be a little extended, then, yeah, we probably shouldn't be putting our penises or letting penises inside of something that we can't even have eye contact with, like.
Exactly. Yeah, sitting and staring someone in the eye, like eye gazing, because I've done it, and it is very, very intense. Like the first time, because I knew I was still dealing with some stuff and, you know, dealing with some insecurities, I couldn't do it. Like we would set it to music, and we still do sometimes, just not as much, but I couldn't even make it through like a 3-minute song because I was like, okay, no, this is way too much for me. And it's not that I didn't like the person, I just knew I needed to deal with things that I had going on and wasn't ready for that yet. It's
So basically, if your partner knows the back of your head better than, never mind. So I got a hypothetical situation here.
Oh my goodness.
So let's say like I wanted to have a hot boy summer or something like that, and you know, I got a couple of joints, I got a couple of women or whatever that, you know, we have chemistry, we get along, you know, we know that we want to work out being together, but we do want to manifest some things together. Could it be a situation where just like, hey, you know, I don't even want to manifest a soulmate. I want to manifest a soulmate also. It's just somebody else. Let's, you know, what's that movie called? Good Luck Chuck. Let's Good Luck Chuck that shit. Like,
oh goodness, yes.
I'm not sure if you saw that movie, but basically, I think it was starring that guy that played Stifler. But basically, any woman that he would have sex with, they would find they would get married like to the next person.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you saying? Would that work, or would you do? What's the?
I mean, is that like is there like some legitimacy to that, or you know?
Okay, I did that. I may have been a predator, and I did that to someone unknowingly.
Okay.
I'm still waiting though, so I don't know if it worked.
Okay.
Or how well it worked. But it was a while ago. But yeah. So if I think that's a good idea, I think it's a great idea.
I'm just, you know, saying
having two people on the same page. Yeah.
If you're on the same page, yeah, definitely.
A great idea.
Yeah, because I mean, again, like I was actually looking up some videos before you called, and you know, they was talking about like, you know, making the intentions known with your partner, and it just like doesn't take away from the spontaneity, and it's just like, well, not really, because it's just like, I mean, you could come out to and be like, yo, we about to manifest some dope shit, you know, while you're kissing on the neck or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
you know, abundance.
But I mean, how like honestly though, when you were really looking at it as a ritual, it doesn't have to be spontaneous. You know what I mean? Like this is like, it's like a holiday. You know what I mean? Like how you prepare for. You know what I mean? Like so, it's not the sponsor like. The 4th of July is every year on the 4th, and people still get excited and pop fireworks every year and turn up every year. You know what I mean? Like, it's a ritual.
Yeah, this is church.
While you can, of course, be spontaneous, I wouldn't say that your manifestation sex would be a ritual. It wouldn't be necessarily spontaneous. Although you could still use spontaneous sex if you could focus. If you could find a focus, or if y'all just have one big goal, and so like sex for the whole next 3 months is going to be for the same goal every time, like or something like that, you know. But
things like that go back to intent for sure, because like you said, this isn't someone that you're trying to be with. This is someone that you're trying to help set a goal. So you can get like things during the sex can definitely have some spontaneity, but like you said, it's a ritual. So you both decided that this is what you're going to do. So you, especially if you're trying to manifest something together, you really got to make sure that you're both on the same page. And you could also do it without actual intercourse, because what ends up happening a lot is people aren't honest about their intentions. So you have people that are secretly focus on something else. Like, let's say homegirl liked you and you didn't know. And, while you over here like, oh, yes, we got to get our days next, she's like, screw every girl that comes this nigga's way. Like,
oh, man.
You really got to make sure
you do.
I'm pretty sure that should happen to me. I'm pretty sure that should happen. Fuck.
I've been trying to tell you about this being out. And then here's the thing about it is because, and there could be somebody who doesn't even know, has never heard a conversation about sex magic, but that's just how she's thinking while she's having sex, and she just did magic. You know what I mean? Like, so that's why, like, all this casual sex and like, hey, man, you are literally just risking it all. Like, you're just giving your creative energy to someone, and they can just be doing whatever, consciously or unconsciously doing whatever with it, and it's literally the strongest energy. Like, y'all keep having casual sex if y'all want to.
I mean, women were literally stealing semen for a while. Like, it's literal and the soul bond as well. Like, but I don't know what's going to get people to wake up and just start thinking like, hey, this is kind of important.
Well, that's part of the programming, though. With
absolutely.
With with everything with the Babylon and that type of energy and everything, it's like devalue sex because they don't know the power of it. So as long as they're just out here using it against each other unknowingly, like, they can never actually use it towards anything.
Shit, it sounds like you're talking about black on black crime.
You want to talk about the revolution? You want to talk about the revolution and stuff? Us taking back control of sex and what sex is and how we use it and embracing the power of it. Like, who's talking about that within the black conscious community? Or focusing on it?
True.
You know what I mean? Like, but we're saying it's the strongest power. Like,
yeah, and I think that we have I'm not going to say like I'm not going to say we're too obsessed with sex, but I mean, that's just kind of like how we've been programmed.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you turn on the radio, what is the song probably going to be about?
I fucked your bitch.
Something.
There's going to be sex in it. It doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. There's going to be sex in it. So if you're just hearing sex, just even if you're not even attempting to focus on it, but you're just hearing sex play in the background, you're seeing ads that have sexual undertones. No wonder everybody's all horny and sexed up. Like, you are literally surrounded by it.
Yes. And a lot of the program, part of it is just focusing on the stimulation, because people just will do anything to get stimulated, which is why you have like these deviant behaviors, which are getting more popular. No, to each their own, it ain't my business. But at the same time, people keep craving that stimulation, and they start this was enough, let's go try this, until they're doing everything under the sun because they're chasing that thing that they always see. I need to satisfy this in this way, when there are so many other ways, like you said earlier, creatively, that you can satisfy that.
Yeah, people become insatiable.
And you get into, and then you add in the circumcision of men and them being desensitized and having need overstimulation to even. Like, there's just so many layers. Like, there's just so many layers on sex in our culture that just have to be like annihilated for it to even become what it is, or for us to see it as what it is. Like, it's so much. Then you put in how many children are molested. Like, there's so much. It's levels. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, we gotta unfuck ourselves, like, as a collective. Yeah, actually, my one of my good friends, she does play in the sand and the snow and the rain and all other kinds of shit. But she was telling me, like, she was dating this Asian cat or whatever, and she's a very sexual being. Matter of fact, the first time I met her, I was just like, oh, she wants to fuck. But just being honest, that's what I do. But she was just like, he's not very sexual at all. He's from the East. So, they value things differently. And, you know, so, like, she has this super high sex drive. And he's just like, yeah, I'm just going to go to work now. Or, like, I'm just going to go, you know, study for this exam or whatever. She's just like, why don't you fuck me? And, like, all this other shit. But, like, it just shows you, like, you know, how people value certain things. And, you know, how far it can get you. I think that a lot of times I definitely think that we use, you know, sex magic in the wrong ways. It's like even thinking about like some of the phrases that we use, the common phrases, oh, what's my name? Or, you know, whose pussy is this? Or, you know, all kinds of stuff.
That's all magic.
Yeah.
Like you're putting your name, like literally, you're claiming it. You're laying claim on it. Like you're putting up your flag, and then you be like, I don't know why that bitch acting crazy. Like, like what? Why do you think she's being possessive? Like you claimed her. Like
you said
you summoned her.
Is yours because you were in the moment. Oh, this feels good. Let me just say whatever wild shit. And I think I tweeted something like that before. How people just say the most wildest things when it comes to sex. Like when you really sit and listen. And folks are like, oh, you know, let folks do they don't keep camera. Like, that's fine. Y'all are going to do what y'all are going to do. But I need y'all to understand that y'all are summoning some shit. Like, words mean things.
Man.
Yep. I mean, there's so many Babylon things on Twitter and shit. You know, the whole I'm selling feet pics and
man, I'm selling my bath water. Did y'all see that one?
Yeah, I saw that shit.
Some girl was bottling her bath water and selling it to like corn dogs for like $30 a bottle, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even another one of my friends.
But
go ahead.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
I mean, you're giving away. So that's giving away. You don't know what people are doing with that.
That is my question. Like, are you even knowing what people are doing? And, you know, the feet pic thing, everyone's like, oh, it's so innocent because it's just my feet. I have just seen in certain public places what people will do with things they consider erotic. I don't even want to imagine what a stranger behind closed doors is doing with a picture of my feet. Like, what?
Man, and what kind of energy? Oh. We just don't understand the power of things. Like it is like how the indigenous people of America didn't like them taking pictures of them because they say you're stealing like my energy, like you're stealing my essence. Yeah, like
yeah. I mean, shit. I'm just there's if you go down the rabbit hole of prawn, you see certain shit, and it's just like people will like really like take a picture, or print out a picture on the internet and do this whole little thing. And I'm just sitting there like, what? Wait, so basically, is this like boneless voodoo right now? Like, that whole thing, like
boneless voodoo.
like you're worshiping this image, and you're nutting on the image and all this other weird shit, and it's fucking weird. And like another one, I'm not gonna say another one of my friends, but a friend that I may have mentioned earlier. I don't want to like have her feel like realize that I'm subbing her in case she wasn't listening to this shit, but. She was saying like there's people that like there's a market for like women selling like used panties and pads and all kinds of weird shit, and niggas is willing to they'll pay to suck your toes. Like they'll pay you to suck your toes. I'm just like, nigga, what?
And like that attests to the power of sexual energy. Like all of this stuff, it just attests to how powerful it is. And if you don't learn how to wield it or commit to wielding it and channeling it properly, it comes out in all kind of crazy ways. Like all kind of crazy ways. I mean, and it's not like I don't like to use the word deviant because of how it sounds and how people interpret it. But if we're talking about something norm and deviating from the norm, then it is deviant. And you know what I mean? Like if you look at the word that way, not as something I'm saying it's good or bad or whatever, but you're deviating.
You niggas is different.
You know what I mean?
You niggas is different.
We're doing some different shit. We're doing some, and it may not get the result. You know what I mean? Like, it's not maybe coming from a healthy place. Like it's not a healthy outlet for it, and that's up for you. That's up to each person to decide, though, too. If they can be honest and open with themselves, and you have to decide what that is for you. Like me, for one, I am not into the booty hole thing. Like don't.
It's a one-way street.
Don't touch me.
Don't I don't lick my ass. Like, don't lick my asshole. I'm gonna lose. Like, this is ridiculous to me. Like, I got a whole vagina, and you over here worried about some damn booty hole. You don't get your life together. Like,
it's crazy. I mean, I've had situations where I remember the first time like a girl told me that, and I think I was like, I might have been a freshman in college, and I think she was like a senior in high school, and I was like, wait, what?
Oh yeah.
I'm like, oh, so you definitely you been fucking grown ass man. Like, ain't nobody in fucking high school think about some shit like that.
Ain't nobody around here doing that.
Yeah. And then when we actually did get into it, I never licked that ass for the record, but I noticed that the box had some stubbles, but that asshole was bare. I was like, whoa. I was like, oh, you playing this shit? Like,
oh man,
I was,
ready.
I was like, whoa,
you was ready, and
she was so ready.
And this is probably just me. Maybe I'm prudish. I don't know. Call it what you want. But I don't know, like, if a man was just like, hey, you gonna lick my booty hole? Like, what? Like,
I feel away.
Like, what?
I would feel away.
I feel disrespected. First of all, if you don't get your wet booty hole ass away from me, and, like, did you just ask me to lick where you shit from? Like, that's
what I was just about to say. I associate the butthole with shit. Like, I just do. And
feces.
Yeah, like, yes, and even if you clean it well, I don't want to put my mouth there. Like, I'm glad that you have great hygiene. Like, kudos to you. We all should. But I don't want to put my mouth there. I just don't, man. I just...
You know these niggas will be wiping good.
We might be food. Look, I remember somebody tweeted, oh, it's gay to wash your booty hole. And I'm like, oh... Okay. Yes.
All right, enjoy that colon cancer, my nigga. Shit. No pun intended.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, no.
Like, and that's one of, like, that is a deviant behavior. It deviates from. That is not a sexual organ, although it can be a stimulating experience. Again, like she said, like Hope said, you're chasing that stimulation, whether or not it's healthy or hygienic or anything. They're chasing the stimulation, which again shows addictive behavior. It shows what it is.
Yeah, yeah. It's some wild stuff. I followed that. I actually found it from you, Ajaya. This Instagram account called Pink Vulva, and they really went in, no pun intended, on like the whole like backdoor thing, and just how it's unnatural and how niggas they I guess women also they alignment be fucked up now and all kinds of shit. Damn, these jokes keep writing themselves, but it's like. I don't know. I never fancied that. I remember being young. I used to joke around about it, but I would never do it. Just because, just off of like the way that it's like the dimensions of it is just like. So this is like smaller than like where you would put. This is smaller than a headphone jack. Like when you put like your fucking headphones in, it's like
dog.
It's like smaller than that shit. Even though there was one chick that was like
some of them don't be after a while.
Yeah, there was this one chick.
Y'all were saying the same thing.
There was this one chick, and I was like, "Did you ever do that before?" Because again, I only play, only deal with the chocolates or whatever, and typically they don't do that, but some of them do. That swirl and do other shit like that. And so like she goes, "Yeah, I did it before." I was like, "I know." She was like, "How do you know?" I was like, "Cause you got your booty hole a little wider than usual." So like, but. Just the dimensions of that, it's just like that. It doesn't make sense, like mathematically, geographically, like to. I mean, not everyone's story is the same, but I'm just like, nah, like this isn't.
Nah.
I mean, it was not. It's an exit. It is not an entrance. It is just. It is an exit.
It's an emergency exit.
Yes.
Man.
Yes.
When you leave the
And it is literally the nastiest part of your body. Like, it is literally where everything that your body cannot break down.
Yes. Comes out.
Everything. Everything comes out of there.
So
like,
basically,
through that passageway.
So basically, butt play is dumpster diving. Is that what you're saying?
Basically, literally. Absolutely, literally. Yeah. Like, y'all out here dumpster diving face first.
Oh my God.
I mean, you literally, you have to force it, bro. Like, there's no, everyone's first time or whatever doing that. I know you have to force it. I just know you do. Like, there's no, and folks be talking like about a natural lubrication. I'm like, that's fluid leaking. That's not sexual.
That is your butt getting prepared to shit. To take a shit that is lubricating your butt because it thinks it's about to take a shit because it doesn't know what else is going on.
Niggas is leaking coolant.
For anything to go in, so it's like, this must be a shit or something. Cause
let me get ready. Like,
let me get ready.
Yeah, so niggas is out here leaking coolant and shit. So now, actually, when I used to work at this, I used to work at in retail, and my supervisor, he was about 10 years my senior. I guess white Spanish or whatever, and he was like, look, you can't just be doing that shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be a surprise or else you're going to get surprised, like, you know. And, you know, growing up and, you know, speaking with women actually did, you know, indulge in that behavior, it's apparently a whole thing. It's like days of preparation and shit. Damn. I gotta stop saying shit. But, like, yeah, there's a lot of days of preparation and, you know, all this other stuff. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. That's a lot of commitment.
That's a whole other ritual.
That's just too much. Days?
And, you know, just, you know, certain people ain't. Anyway, let's we deviated too much, I think. So when it comes to I guess manifesting. All right, let's say somebody, you know, wants to manifest some positive stuff, and then somebody wants to manifest some negative stuff. Who comes out on top? Well, no pun intended, I guess. Like, how does that work? If we come into this situation with like two different things, you know, this person may want to, you know, manifest a relationship, and I'm just like, look, I'm giving her closure dick right now. Like, I don't want to see her no more. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that I'm done with her. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you probably shouldn't have sex with her.
I know. I'm just saying. I know that. I'm just saying. Like,
I feel like
if that's what you want to manifest, if you were trying to manifest this being over, then don't have sex with her. But if it was something else, and like she was going to try to manipulate it into getting in a relationship with you, and you have agreed that it's to manifest a new car or something, you know what I mean, or something like that. You both could get your way. You can get a new car and a girl. Like, you know what I mean? And that's the risk that you take if you are engaging in sex with somebody who is not going to be upfront and honest. Like,
true.
You're not, you know what I mean? I think both of you could essentially, if you're not protected, if you haven't protected and practiced and know how to protect your energy and things like that, and you're engaging, that's literally the chance you take. Like,
and you
can never truly know what's on their mind, what they're attempting to manifest, and you can't block what they're manifesting and still trying to manifest what you're manifesting in the same. Yeah, that's like sabotage. They're sabotaging the ritual.
Yeah, it all still goes back to trust and like knowing what the intent is, because you could also come together with those differing energies and create something totally new and chaotic. And chaos can be good, chaos can be bad, but it's just different. And it could be something that is not easy to clean up, to put it, you know, in the words, because you just don't know. Like, you just don't know what that other person's thinking.
Yeah, and then and if you truly don't know where they are and their thinking and their level and how, I mean, I'll just use myself as an example here. Like, really being on the spiritual side of sex and really tapping into the divine feminine here in the last like couple years, and having sex with someone that doesn't really function on that level, it's created very hard to navigate relationships. Like, you know, to the point where none of it was like we're working to become a item or a union down the line or anything like that.
Right.
So, but they were still supposed to be able to maintain this bit of cordial, nice energy that we had going into it, and it wasn't able to. The different energies, it wasn't able to withstand the sexual, what was created in the sexual energy, like in that cipher. The rest of it couldn't cope. So like everything else kind of just fell apart, even though like the sexual cipher seemed to be going really like pretty good. I don't want to say great, but like seemed to be going really good as far as manifesting and being able to like engage with each other and having that chemistry. But like everything else was not able to we weren't able to maintain the energy, the balance in other areas. And that could be, you know, like, and sometimes it gets to be too much, and it seems like the relationship or the union should be the next step because of the sexual stuff, but that's not really what neither one of y'all want. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so then there's like, okay, we don't really want to play this game. And then you just start playing with fire. You know what I mean? Like, you can create stuff that you don't even know. Like,
you can crash hard, like how we were talking about it being a drug earlier. Like, when you separate with people like that sometimes, I'm speaking from my own experience, you can crash hard, like taking the hit of whatever and then never getting it again, and withdrawal and all of that.
Yeah, like, goodness gracious, you like crash like dang, because then if the sexual part was there, then it was like, well, dang, why couldn't the rest of it work?
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you have to start examining other parts of yourself and seeing, and that's hard work. That takes you looking at yourself, and that takes you healing and figuring out and or you can run from it and crash and never recover and be hurt in that forever. You know what I mean? And be hurt in what feels like a rejection, or because that bond is there again. That bond is there, but
it doesn't go
the physical and the relationship part is gone, but the energy bond is still there. So you have to learn how to navigate that.
No, I just saying all these things. I'm just thinking about like different, you know, situations I've been in. I'm just like, I got to start shutting the fuck up. You know, I've been saying stuff like, you know, we go together now, right? Like, or like, and I'm just like, damn.
No.
you out here think you joking.
Yes.
Yeah, or like, damn, like, shit, I might be a fuck nigga, like, low key. I'm just shit. Yeah, I got some work to do. Like, damn.
Oh,
you just been out here spewing your magic wildly.
Dang.
You a street musician or a street magician.
No. Goodness.
Damn. Shit.
But that's what, because I remember somebody responded when I said I talked about this podcast about sex magic, and they were like, you know, I don't think, you know, that's sacred, and, you know, not everybody needs to be in on that information. I was like, everybody's already doing it. Like, so many people need to know more about it, regardless, you know. I was like, ain't no secrets no more. Everything is a Google away.
Yeah, that is facts.
Like, there's nothing that's secret anymore, but
I like the term sacred. Yes, I like the term willful ignorance. Like, a lot of people just choose to not know. And it's funny because you really do know. It's like a double entendre. Like, you really do know. You just refuse to look it up because, as we have all said, like, you're going to have to look on yourself afterwards. You're going to have to look within and do the hard work. And a lot of people are lazy, unfortunately. They don't want to do the hard work. They want to stay in their blissful states and remain.
I'm trying to get my nut and go. That's that's what niggas is at. In this microwave
I'm not trying for all of that.
Yeah, in this microwave society, that's really what it wants. So, and I probably should have brought this up sooner, because you like almost an hour in and shit. But like, when it comes to like men not holding their seat and shit like that, I know I'm not gonna say y'all are experts, but y'all know better than most niggas. So like, what would you say is the importance of that? Holding your seat and maintaining your energy, ejaculation and all of that stuff.
I mean, if we're talking about, it's your literal life force. You are literally feeding out your life force every time that you actually ejaculate, and that's what you're doing. So you're losing literally vital nutrients and like everything in that energy, and for what? For nothing. Like literally for nothing, because most people aren't even manifesting with it.
No,
you're literally just giving away your life force, like, and then what's going to happen when you get older? You lose, like, there's nothing left there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Like you don't, there's literally nothing left. You literally seeded away your life. Like, and you're 60 and 70 and you can't have sex. Like, that's not normal. Like, that's not natural for you not to be able to have sex in your 60s. Like, my mom's dad was like 53 years old when she was born. Like, I'm pretty sure he had sex for a long time after she was born too. Like, he was old. Like, he was born in like 1903. Like, he was old as hell. Like, but so he was just healthier. You know what I mean? Like, just
absolutely.
And married. You know what I mean? And also married, and not doing as much. Like, not and healthier because of diets, and like there's so many different layers, but being able to just retain your life force is your life force. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Maybe Hope can develop, like, it's literally your life force. Like, this is, I don't know.
Well, no, I mean,
it's pretty important.
I think you did good. Even if you take ejaculation out of the picture for a minute, it will give you more stamina. Dudes will be like, oh, her pussy was just too good. That's why I came in, 3 minutes. No, my dude, you just have no control of yourself, because it is very possible or like dudes will say, oh, if you went a long time, she not good or whatever. That's lies. I wish this porn error and all that would just stop, because those are both lies. Okay,
no.
if you maintain it even just a little bit longer, like, you get more energy from doing that for the current sex you are having and for the later sex you are having. Like you said, it is your literal life force. And like, dudes used to argue with me all the time on Twitter, and I would be like, I wonder if that's why a lot of dudes die young. I had tweeted one time, because they're always coming, always just letting that go. And dude was like, oh, well, that life force you're talking about is regenerated in whatever amount of time. And I was like, yes, y'all are constantly producing sperm, but are you producing it at the rate that you are letting it go? I highly doubt that you are. Like, some of the dudes they be bragging about having like busted 3 nuts a day, and I'm like, you tired, aren't you?
Like, you blanks.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's okay not
to.
It's okay. Like, it's okay for y'all to have like a man, like, and not everyone, it's a man thing, blah blah blah. No, it's a self-control and a value thing. Like,
that's
if you can't go a month, like, you can't go a month, 30 days. Like, you can't go 30 days without ejaculating. Like,
like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it's an addiction. All right, moment of honesty.
Yeah, like, it is.
Yeah,
it is. I was like, you can't go 30 days without it. And then here's the big secret: if you really start to engage in some sex magic and get more into the sacred union of sex, usually in this, for it to really to help, because I think the woman is the real portal. So if you're really trying to tap in, like, she really should be on top. Like, you can put her in control of it. And if she's tapping into the energy, you don't even have to do anything. Really.
Nothing.
Like, you have to just follow just follow. Like, all you have to do is follow, and she will orgasm and just continue orgasm. And you're not even working. Like, you could literally, like, multiple times, and you not even break a sweat. Like,
shit.
you can, like, bring that and then not have and enjoy that energy exchange and not actually ever ejaculate and not even practice ejaculation. You don't even have to get to the point to where you are practicing. You can just enjoy that experience and not end with filling your life force and your seed, and just enjoy that experience. And then that's going to build your stamina. And then that's going to build your stamina.
Damn.
Like,
that definitely sounds like an act show.
And that's going to get women to love you. I mean, like, not, well, yes, that will definitely make a woman fall in love with that.
Oh, yeah.
Where she is and her energy.
Oh, yeah.
But, that will, I mean, I just, after experiencing it, I was like, oh, y'all tripping. Like,
every other dude is on that bullshit.
Yeah. So confession, right? So this had to be like 11 years ago. This is the first natural girl I ever dated. I was in college, and a lot of what you're saying, like, she kind of like mentioned, a lot of these things, like, like, because she was a Christian or whatever. So, like, the times I would, first of all, like, just in general, like, I wasn't nothing at all. Like, I was just, I'm from some sort of warrior tribe or some shit. I don't know. But, like, girls would be crying, like, oh my God, am I good enough? I'm just like, I don't know, maybe, like, But,
oh, man.
This girl, I looked at her for a while. We were friends first and all this other cute shit. And, she took control a lot of times. And, like, she was, like, catching like 5 and 6 at a time, and as a young nigga, 20 years old, I'm like, she out here, busting them back like it's nothing. Like, at that point, I'm a legend, like, you know what I'm saying? So, and she was always talking about, like, don't lose your life force, whatever, like, and she actually was able, because she was actually a virgin with all of this shit going on. We were just doing, I'm not gonna say deviant shit per se, but we were doing stuff that made her reach her destination multiple times. And she
was all the way tapped in when young.
Yeah. Yo.
Right.
And she was rich. I'm fucking up. But, like, damn. I'm about to send a hey big head text real time. Now, but,
yeah. Hey, make sure you mean it, though.
Look, anyway, so I mean, she really set the standard for a lot of shit, though, and but even then, like, she was able to, like, maybe not also, like, just offer her hands, and no one's ever, like, with a mouth, not never, but at that time, mouth whatever, like, they weren't able to do that. It would always be me, and, like, even, like, I think my longest performance was, like, from night till the sun came up, and then I was like, I gotta go to work. Let me finish this up so I can go, you know what I'm saying, and drop your ass off. Like, so, but she was able to do that. And I remember, like, when she did that the first time, like, I literally, like, my legs just, like, lost all feeling. And, like, I think I hit the floor. I was like, yo.
Oh, man.
I was like, yo. And again, I'm 20 years old. I'm like, yo, you're going nowhere. Like,
you lied. What are you doing? But then, like, and that is a certain vibe. Like, when you find a woman that is true, and it doesn't, I guess it's not true all the way across the board, but, like, usually women that are, like, tapped in like that, they have a real sense of self and, like, a certain, you know what I mean? They just have a certain energy about them, because that's the energy you tap into during sex. Like,
yeah.
That you can, in a certain passion, and being able to, like, it. Yeah, it's an energy. So, like, it has nothing to do with what you're using, whether it's your hand or your mouth or your vagina or whatever. Like, it has nothing to do with that. It's all about the energy that you're exchanging with the person. So, like, yeah, like, that's what it is. Like, so, like, if you start to be aware of those type of energies, when you come in contact with them, like that's another thing when you start picking partners to manifest with. Like that woman right there for you, y'all could probably manifest. Back then, I don't know about now, but like y'all probably could have manifested some like real shit. He like, I'm about to text her right now. Like I'm trying to manifest this. But like having that energy, like that's a strong manifestation energy like that. You can get somewhere with that type of stuff.
Yeah, and like,
but y'all also might mess around and create a real strong bond between each other.
Yeah, the bond was strong as fuck.
Like, yeah, like
I bet it was.
Like I was like, you know, when niggas talk about like black men don't cheat, like I was faithful as fuck. It was ridiculous. Like I was like, get away from me, you whore. Like,
I'm good.
Yeah, like I remember, she went to Trinidad actually, with her father because she was just rich, and the girl I was messing with before her, complete polar opposite, and she had like, I guess, followed me coming from work and was like, hey, you know, like, what's up? And I was like, you know, nothing, just chilling, whatever. He goes, you still with your girl? I'm like, of course. And the thing is, like, I told her, like, when we first started messing around, which was like, it was a brief stint, I was just like, you know, I'm actively talking to somebody, because, you know, I'm not sure about y'all, but maybe you know of someone, like, whenever you first mess with somebody, it's just like, all right, so how many hoes you got and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, I'm chilling, like, nah, nigga, you lying. I'm like, nah. You know, this is a girl I'm actively talking to, but, you know, you it right now, for right now. But, you know, I've always kept it a buck with women. I'm not one of those, you know, it's like this, but it's really like that.
Right.
So I guess that kind of, you know, stands out or some shit. But anyway, she was like, not even head. And I'm just like, and at this point, she had like the greatest mouth this side of the Mississippi. And I was really like, nah. Like, I was just like, nah.
Okay.
And it really got bad with her too. I'm not sure what my intentions was with her, but like to the point where she was like, can you recommend somebody? I'm like, I don't know.
Can you recommend?
Like,
wow.
Like,
hey.
And I remember like one time, like she was sitting there like, because we had mutual friends. Some people knew we fucked, some people didn't. And I think one time she was just in a room watching porn. I was just like, there's all the stimulation you need, but she's like, it's not like you. And I'm just like, yo, I'm 20. I'm 20 years old. You don't need to be telling me this shit right now. Like, I'm already arrogant as is. Please don't gas me up like that. But you know, you know, I didn't say that then.
She had an agenda. She was trying to get some.
Yeah, she definitely was.
She had her goals.
Yeah,
she was trying to break you down, man.
Yeah, she called me crying once. And again, it was just a situation. Was just like, yo, we just like, it was like when I first met her, it was a 24-hour transaction. I don't think I need to explain what that is. No money was paid. No money was exchanged. This isn't no OnlyFans shit.
I got you.
But yeah, so, and you know, I thought we was pretty clear. You know, we watched fucking, like, you know, people watch like, you know, date movies and shit like that. We was watching Van Wilder and fucking what the hell is that movie? Jay and Silent Bob. You know what I'm saying? Like it was real. It was cool. But
real chill.
You know, it's just that sex magic apparently. But yeah, that girl, the natural one, my first natural, and I've never been bitten. I don't think I ever dated somebody that was perm since. She just like opened the floodgates, and you know, she taught me a lot. It taught me a lot about myself, and yeah, you know, I feel sometimes that I really can't settle, you know, like with what I got, because it's just like,
man, that's the other warning I come with.
Oh,
like, listen, after, like, it'll be good while it lasts, but I mean, afterwards, it might be a little dry out here for you.
Yeah.
One of my friends, he was like, because we actually still managed to remain friends after our like relationship thing ended. He was like, at least I know. He was like, my next woman's gonna smell like shea butter. I was like, shut up.
Yo.
Oh my goodness.
You gotta understand, like, if niggas
and African oils.
Look, like, when niggas ain't used to that shit, it's like, you know what it's like? because y'all both like from like rural areas, so I know niggas will be like washing their nails and shit. So it's like seeing somebody with like their nails are cut, they're clean. You just like, wait, what a minute? Like, wait, what? Like
it's just amazing.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm not from a rural area. Just because we in the Midwest, we are a city. But I know what you mean. This is making. But no, I know exactly what you mean. Like, to see, because I see this man actually asked me, he's an older guy, he asked me the other day, he sent me a picture when we were meeting at the open mic, he sent me a picture, and he was like, in the picture he was real, like, dressed sharp. Like, I was like, you always dress this sharp? And he was like, he was from New York. He said, it's the New York in me. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, we be full of shit.
He was like, he was in his late 40s. He was in his late 40s too. Like, yeah. So yeah, I know what you mean. Like, it's like a whole nother life.
Yeah.
I'm not about to go out with no dusty ass niggas.
I mean, absolutely. All that stuff matters. Cause like,
they be real dirty.
Yeah, cause like again, like I remember like getting a compliment on like, oh, like you have nice hands, and I'm like, okay, like what the fuck does that mean? Like everybody has hands.
It's a weird thing, but you gotta understand, like folks out here, dudes be dirty, literally and metaphorically.
Like you never clean your nails, like you don't like lotion your hands or moisturize, like your nails are all bit up and ate. Yeah, like your nails are all bit up and ate off and shit. Like,
yeah.
Dude, I mean, I break my nails and stuff all the time, so it's not about like the length, but like
no, not at
like,
all.
Your fingers are like your nails are like ate up, and you never clean your nails.
Like you've been chewing on them or whatever.
Yeah. And that's an upgrade for a man. Get you a woman that's gonna help you clean your nails, get you out here looking nice and neat.
Oh yes, listen, that's a good thing. Like this dude, I think it was my first or whatever. When I offered to like clip his nails for him because no one ever would do it or no one ever cared enough, he was like, "Oh, you gonna take care of my hands and nails for me?" I was like, "Bro, you really should be doing this yourself." But I'm not sure why this is so amazing.
Another confession.
Like
that same girl, she definitely cut my toenails, mind you.
See. We not just talking. We not just sitting here talking.
No, not at all.
It's the truth that is coming out.
I started dressing different and shit. Like, she taught me how to cook. Like, it was a lot, yo. Like,
oh my gosh, yes.
Damn. Well, I know what I gotta do.
See, and that's that energy exchange. That's like the beginning of the magic right there.
You'll unintentionally be doing things in order to stay in this person's good graces. Like I used to tell folks all the time, I was like, I don't stay anywhere where I'm not wanted to be kept. Don't keep me if you don't want to keep me or whatever. And folks will, they will do, even if they drop off for a little bit because they want to go do some fuckery, they'll come back and, try to tiptoe and, oh, I remember she liked this. I remember, I got to do this to get her to come over or whatever. And they'll do whatever they need to do to get what they're trying to get.
So that actually just triggered something. And by trigger, not like, oh, I'm offended, but anyway, so when it comes to like, we talk about sex magic and then we talk about like infidelity. So like, I think maybe that's why people are so territorial with things, because it's like, you're doing magic over here. We had a shared experience, and I see you over there. Is that can that be part of it?
It could.
Yeah,
people are also.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say people are also disrespectful nowadays. Like they intentionally go up to people trying to prove that there's this, or girls be like, oh, I can take your nigga.
Yeah, or like just like try to prove that your relationship ain't as good as you think it is, or they can mess it up or whatever. And as a man, like, or it could be a man or woman, because both sides cheat. But
sure do.
Like as either one, you are inviting another energy into your relationship. You're literally you're creating another energetic bond, and your other partner is attached to you through an energetic bond. And literally, a man be like, I don't even know how she knew. Like, like he said, like she just knew, like she just knew, or she just suspects, and she just suspects something because you have a different energy on you.
Yes.
Like you literally have a different energy on you, and women who are naturally more sensitive to energy than like if they're actually in tune and somewhat, you know, aligned spiritually, they can feel it. Like they can literally feel like you are different because you have done something with a different energy. You are different. Your energy is different.
Yeah, it's like when like you come home, let's say like you got a dog or whatever, like, and you saw like another dog, your dog will know that. It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Not to make any
it's the
bitch
same
jokes,
idea, and it doesn't even it doesn't even mean that you had to have had physical coitus with that person. You could have just been around her. Y'all could have went on an outing. Because I've been there, and I would question myself and be like, nah, you know, Hope, you just tripping or whatever. No, like I was right every time. My choice to ignore it was, you know, my own choice at the end of the day. But you can really sense that, and it's really interesting when dudes are like, oh nah, she tripping, or you know, this and this and that. Nah, bro, like you making excuses because you know you messing up.
Man, you know that it's real. Like, you know,
you know it's real. You know I'm right.
And it could just be that you just like or feel a certain way towards a woman, or you just was at work and y'all just vibed out at work. You know what I mean? Like y'all just vibed out at work, and like your energy is going to come back. Like we can tell who you been hanging out with. Like just like if you know how when somebody comes from somebody's house they don't really like, or they come from their mama house and their mama always like, you can tell when they came from that place their energy is different. Well, if you get a little better at telling it, you'll see subtle changes. When you're intimate with a person, you know their energy better. You know their energy even better, so you can tell even easier when it changes. Like, like the sex energy, it ain't no joke. Like, because the sexual energy doesn't just come from sex. It comes from that attraction. It comes from a lot of different things.
Another confession. God damn, yo. Hindsight's 20/20 like shit. So, same girl. One of my homegirls, you know, we were strictly, you know, platonic friends and stuff like that. She had came over. And then again, I was in college, whatever. I had like my little suite or whatever. So she was just in my room. We were just talking because she had just came back from California, and you know she was there for the semester. And you know, we was talking. You know, my friends thought other things because she was attractive. Because typically all of my women friends are attractive. That's like a bonus compliment, by the way. But like, so you know, it was nothing. Like, you know, we talked and everything was cool. But then like, when Shorty had came back from Trinidad, she was like, somebody was in here. And I was like, I was like, and again, she was a year older. She was 21. And I'm just like, yo, what the fuck? Like, I was really like, I don't know. Like, I was not ready.
You was thrown off a little bit. Yeah.
Damn. Like, I'm glad I wasn't like a full fuck nigga. Cause like, I don't know how that would have worked. But I
mean, if you was messing with Shorty, she might have given you, you know, birthdays, times of dates, and years, and you would have really been messed up.
Yeah, because like even we had worked at the bookstore, you know, at a college bookstore, you see everybody, and she was like, "Yeah, you messed with her, you messed with her." I'm just like, fuck. Like girls, I would ignore. She was like, "Oh, you messed with her, didn't you?" I'm like, "Oh my god."
So this guy I was talking to, I was like around him in another capacity around other people, and I just kept getting a funny vibe, and I was like, I asked him, I was like, did you and you know this woman used to have something or da 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 da? He was like, yeah, but nobody knew, because you know their work relationship, they had you know they decided to keep it a secret. He's like, yeah, but nobody knew, and he was like, why you say that? I was like, all right. Anyway, I'm brand new to the situation. And I pieced it off I pieced it off jump, like, but of course you know, like I said, that energy bond is there, and once you are able to sense it and see it, it's just obvious. It's super obvious.
Wow. Well, I know what the fuck I gotta do. But so final words, I guess, what would you say is the most important thing if no one got anything from this conversation? Like, what's the most important thing you want to leave people with as far as like, you know, sex magic and what they can do to really tap into it?
I would say first, value your sexual energy. It is very powerful. It is very valuable. You want to talk the law of attraction, like your sexual energy is so much more than like anyone has probably ever told you. So value it and then use it responsibly, just like anything else. Like commit to actually learning about it and using it the best that you can.
Please fuck responsibly. Hope.
Yes. Basically. We need a t-shirt.
Exactly
Who's doing it? Who's making a t-shirt?
I got y'all. But no, for real, like it definitely all comes down to knowing to yourself, know your body. Like people really don't sit and take the time to know their body, like what they like, what they don't like, and just sit there and be with yourself. Like there's people who can't even be alone and they don't think that that's a problem at all. So if while you're engaging, before you engage, during all of that, really, really know yourself and make sure that there's true trust there, because like we've been saying, you don't want to create something you're not trying to create. Know what this other person got going on.
Yeah, a lot of people, got a bunch of energy babies running around.
Oh yeah.
And yeah. So yeah, I mean, I learned a lot. I learned that, nah, I'm chill.
You learned that you about to send that, hey, big head text.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, shit, yo.
Hey, it's update us.
Next thing, we gonna be hearing wet announcements on the next podcast. You're gonna get some sex magic thrown on you, and you'll be walking down the aisle in 2020.
I mean, to be fair, it didn't end negatively. I never really had like a really bad breakup, except one, but she just kind of sabotaged it because she wanted to cover herself. But besides that, everything's been pretty much. I'm not one of those like I fucking hate you and shit like that. Like I don't. This is not worth my time.
Yeah.
So
you just went your separate ways. Yes.
Yeah. So I
learn a lesson from every sexual experience, from every relationship, from everything. Like learn where you might have made a mistake, or where you bit off more than you could chew, or where you might have had sex too early and created that bond. Like learn from, don't sit and be in pain over it. Yeah, it sucks, it hurts, you had something else in mind, but learn from it and grow and be smarter about your sexual connections going forward. Like that's all you can do. Like shit, I'm gonna be great regardless,
Exactly.
Oh man. So thank you again for agreeing to do this, for educating people, for educating me, for realizing,
that your dick is magical.
Yes, thank you. It's not the first time I heard it, but yes, thank you. All right, if people want to find you, where can they find you?
I am Ajaya Devine on all platforms, AJAYA, Divine, DIVINE, AjayaDevine.com. You get my book, Sister, Woman's Guide to Self. All my nonprofit stuff is linked to my website, so check me out. I got some stuff going on, too. I'm not just all about sex,
Yeah, for right now, I'm not on Ajaya's level, but you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Hope You Smile. Yeah, there you go.
and for the ignorant, that's spelled like the right way, like Hope, YOU.
Oh yes,
smile.
yes. UYOUHOPEYOUSMILE. Yes, one word, no underscores and all that.
All right. Again, I appreciate the conversation, and y'all have a good night.
All right, you as well.
Peace.